As you can see, I mean, it looks like a brand new engine right out of the crate. You know, this is the original, pretty much how the V-band clamp is gonna go. Everything turned out perfectly. As you can see, she's right behind me. I mean, this engine.
Perfect.
What's swinging, Auto Lust gang? So this is actually part 3 of polishing Olivia's little turd of an engine, and man, it's looking so good already. So let me get in here and show you guys exactly what pretty much level the engine is at right now, and it's pretty much ready to go in. So as I told you guys before, we have the transmission out. Hold on, let me zoom this out some. There we go. So the transmission is out because it's easier to pop the engine in and out when the transmission is out as well. You know, you want to drop the transmission first, you know. So this looks like the engine we pulled out, but this is actually the new engine. And we pressure washed it. As you can see, I mean, it looks like a brand new engine right out of the crate. You know, this is the original engine here. But yeah, mostly everything is on, you know. We're getting ready to drop it inside, pop the intake manifold on. AC compressor is already on, so we just have to pop the lines on, and she's pretty much, you know, ready to start hooking back up, you know, putting the transmission back up on the back. Then we can get some fluids in her. See how that go. So yep, that's pretty much where we are right now. The engine definitely looking good though. Turned out real nice. And that pressure wash job Omar did on it last night looks even better. Looks like a brand new engine. No leaks, no oil spilling from anywhere. Everything's brand new. All the seals are brand new. Brand new valve cover. Brand new serpentine system up front. I mean, everything's brand new on this thing. I mean, it looks good too.
A few moments later.
All right, the engine is in. Just put the oil lines on. Hook the boost pipe up. Now I'm gonna install the AC lines and pretty much start putting it back together so we can put the transmission back in. But yeah, she's in. The new motor is in. Can't wait to crank up and see how she runs. I'm gonna do a 500-mile interval oil change, you know, just in case it was something, you know, so a little bit of trash in this new motor to clean it out, and then we're gonna go from there. But yeah, I'll get back with you guys soon as she's done being fully installed.
The next day.
What's up, gang? So it's the next day, and I have good news, and you know, good news is usually trailed by bad news, but it might be a silver lining. So let's get right into it. Flip this camera around. Boom. All right, so after toiling and, you know, going through it all that time, boom, we got the engine in, and we already started it up. The engine runs perfectly fine. Well, it sounds a little funky because the downpipe isn't on and the O2 sensors aren't hooked up. You know, we just ran it for a short amount of time with full of oil. We still got to do the coolant, and we got to custom make this exhaust downpipe with this V-band clamp, which is going to be welded directly to the end here. And then the part that usually slides over this is going to be cut out with the little slots in it and slipped inside and welded, so it's like no wall for the exhaust to hit. It's just free flow, and this will stop me. This here is a lot better than that stupid band clamp that always leaks and slips out. And the engine is pretty much done. But the bad thing we found out is once we cranked the car up, you know, the windshield wipers was going for no reason. We couldn't get them to stop and all of this crap, and we thought that the, what module that is under the dashboard, Omar? The gateway, central gateway?
Central gateway, ZGW.
Yeah, we thought it was the ZGW, the central gateway module, but it's turning out to be the ICM module, which sits under the center console there. And I think the reason why it's going bad, it went bad as soon as all those codes went to popping up as soon as the engine blew or spun a rod bearing. But I think when I popped the curb, if you guys remember that video I showed you when I jumped the curb on mistake, you know, I think it shook that box around or some wiring or something, because when we unplugged it and plugged it back up, it reset itself and now it's working fine, besides having an airbag light. Come to find out, it was a bad battery. Once changing the bad battery that was only holding 10 volts, most of the problems went away. But I'm still having a park assist and a blind spot detection malfunction problem. So that kind of still points to the ICM, but that's soon to be determined. All right, so Olivia is truly a OEM plus build. So I told you guys that I didn't want to use that clamp anymore. It's down there on the ground, Omar, right there. Because when, well, no, that one, we're not using that one. Yeah, because when we tried to use this one, it never tightened enough and it was a big exhaust leak. So what we did, well, what Omar did was cut this pipe to cut that crush section off, and we measured here to cut the down pipe so that the V-band clamp fits perfectly in between the two. And that'll cause a leak-free joint union there. So that's what we're gonna do, you know, kind of OEM plus, you know, which the dealer should have did this from the get-go, you know. I mean, I don't know why. Well, BMW Germany should have did that from the get-go.
It's not really OEM plus. BMW doesn't use V-bands.
That's why I'm saying, that's why I mean plus.
We are performance plus.
Yeah, well, performance plus, like Omar said.
BMW used V-bands. Oh, it make the tech who's working on the car life way easier to remove these, because the problem with these is that you could tell even by looking at it, over time, especially cars up north, they get rusted, and good luck trying to take these off without them breaking. And most BMWs actually, which you see this one was, and we took it off, they weld this clamp on the exhaust. Dumbest thing ever. I don't know why they.
Because we had to break that one off, right?
Yeah, we did. And look, we grind it down. I mean, luckily on this clamp on this car, they only did one spot weld. But I think on like
on Sasha, it was 4 of them all the way around.
Yeah, and then I think on the B58s as well, they weld all around. So like,
you
if
can't
this
take
clamp,
it off.
Yeah, if this clamp ever breaks or anything, like you're pointless.
You screwed. They want you to buy a new exhaust. Yeah, but we definitely doing, like he said, performance plus. So we finna get this, bring the downpipe down, cut it, and then start welding it up. All right, so this is pretty much, wait, that bracket blocking it. This is pretty much how the V-band clamp is gonna go. Everything is all cut, so we just gotta tack it on. And man, that's a lot better than what it was. That's gonna be nice. No exhaust leak whatsoever, and a very tight fit, and easier to drop the exhaust and put it back up.
Perfect. Perfect.
moments later.
All right, the car just went on its first test drive since putting a new motor in. And I mean, this engine is extremely smooth, very, very smooth, even more so than the original engine that came in it. So I'm very, very happy about that. But some good news is we found out that the battery was very, very bad. So it actually wasn't the, what is it, the ICM? Yeah, it wasn't the ICM module. It was the battery just so dead that it was making a bunch of crazy sporadic codes pop up. So we switched the battery, put a new one in, cleared the codes, and now everything is perfect. So that's great. So Olivia is definitely, you know, back in the game, you know, looking good. And I love that V-band clamp. Big shout out to Omar, Mr. Boosted Beamers. He over here working on it. What year that is? 2025?
22.
Damn, 2022 look this good. Working on a 2022 Porsche 911. Putting new two-piece rotors on it. That's a 911 something. Oh, 911 Carrera S. That's a beautiful, beautiful car. But yeah. So what I'm doing now is putting the inner and outer tie rods on it, because when you turn, you can hear the inner tie rods like popping, that joint inside popping back and forth. So I'm swapping both of them out on both sides. And I was gonna install the new springs, but I'm gonna do that next time, because I'm gonna do a quick oil change, maybe like in a couple days. And once I do the quick oil change, I'll do the springs.
The next day.
So it's the next day, and I'm just leaving Firestone getting Olivia's lifetime alignment. Everything turned out perfectly. Yeah, everything is perfectly fine but that popping noise. So I guess it isn't the inner tie rods. Omar and I put her back on the lift, and it sounds like the noise is coming from inside the steering rack motor. So we might have to get another steering rack. Please don't jump curves with your car. As you can see, she's right behind me. I mean, this engine is so smooth, actually smoother than the original one that came in the car. So yes, it was a success. So let me let you guys check everything out. Oh man, she runs so smooth. The only thing I'm gonna change is this intake here, because it's cracked, this intake tube. And I want to move this part further back because it's kinking the line by being this close up. So I'm going to move this port a little further back. But other than that, man, it's perfect. She idles beautifully. You know, she's going to need to be washed again, of course. She hasn't been washed and she's set for months. But the car looks gorgeous. She's back to herself again. And more good news, very good news. Sasha's BDC finally arrived. So I'm gonna get that through in and code it to see exactly what all that fixes on my, you know, crazy race truck, man. I mean, it's just been up and down, up and down, up and down with Sasha. But I'm so happy to finally have Olivia back on the road and running correctly. So like, share, and subscribe, and Auto Lust out.